Hello, what is up, my friends? Welcome to another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. We got a spicy one for you today. We're playing some Pioneer, and I know we're playing Risen Reef, usually a standard card, but we got quite the little brew here, if I do say so myself. So, for those who don't know, Young Pyromancer makes 1/1 elemental tokens. Chandra, Acolyte of Flame makes 1/1 elemental tokens. Risen Reef triggers whenever an elemental enters the battlefield. So while there aren't necessarily a ton of great elementals in Pioneer or Standard, you know, there's some obviously, but not a great, wonderful amount of high-powered elementals. Triggering Risen Reef off of Pyromancer and Chandra is actually really awesome because it's very easy to make a lot of tokens with Pyromancer, obviously. You play a couple cheap spells. Pyromancer is a card that's seen play in virtually every single format. Very powerful 2-drop. And Chandra is also a pretty solid card as well at making tokens. And both cards play really well with spells, right? So normally a card like Risen Reef, you'd think it'd want to be played in a tribal deck with other creatures. But we get to play it with spells instead. And of course, spells are much better than creatures, right? Maybe not in Modern Magic, but, you know, most of the time. So we get to play kind of an is-it spell-based deck. A lot of good cheap cards, a lot of good cheap spells, a lot of things you'd expect to see around Young Pyromancer, but also tack on this really powerful engine of card draw and mana generation from Risen Reef. And it doesn't take long with a Risen Reef in play for a Pyromancer or a Chandra to make the game go spiral wildly out of control. So just lands being drawn, lands hitting the battlefield, tons of mana, huge advantage. So we built that into this kind of a blue-red spells deck. We're playing a lot of interaction, a lot of removal, and we have a few elements trying to utilize the extra mana we have from our Risen Reef. Now, we don't want to go too deep. You know, we can't go putting Ugin the Spirit Dragon or Hydroid Krasis into our Wild / Young Pyromancer deck. We found a few clever ways to use the mana. So the basics are removal spells, cantrips, all the cards you'd expect to see in a Pyromancer shell. We got Wild Slash, we got Fiery Impulse, which is going to be better than Wild Slash in some matchups, but not better in others. We got Opt, of course, the best cantrip in the format. We've got a couple cheap interactive pieces in 1 Spell Pierce and 2 Dive Down, because our creatures are very important. We do want to keep the Pyromancer and the Risen Reef in play if possible. Chart, of course, a page out of the Is It Phoenix books. Essence Scatter is a card I think is really, really good in Pioneer. Think about what Essence Scatter counters. Inverter of Truths, or Thassa's Oracle. Heliod, Sun Crowned, or Walking Ballista. And that's 2 of the main combo decks in the entire format, right? As well as just other creatures, too. So I think Essence Scatter is a underplayed card. And you got Bonecrusher Giant, another great card. Treasure Cruise, solid card. We're not as all in on the graveyard as like Is It Phoenix, but still a very good card. And then we have the cards that lean into our extra mana production. So Mizzium Mortars is a fine removal spell, very close to Lava Coil in scope, 2 mana sorcery for a creature. Doesn't exile, of course, but that's not always relevant. But if we have a lot of mana in play, we get to overload it. So for 6 mana, we get to deal 4 damage to everything our opponent controls, which is an extremely powerful effect. And by playing a card like Mizzium Mortars, we get to reap the advantages of when our Risen Reef engine works by having a really powerful payoff card that's not a 6-drop. It's not a card we're stuck, with if we can't get our engine online. So worst case scenario, a slightly worse Lava Coil. Best case scenario, Aether Board. Pretty awesome. Another cool interaction is Chandra, Acolyte of Flame can actually flash back a Mizzium Mortars and allow you to overload it, because all it says is you got to target a spell with mana cost 3 or less, not cast it for 3 or less. So cool interaction there as well. And our other concession to trying to find a little extra to do, the one card that really jumps out as a little bit odd in the deck is Living Twister. And Living Twister is an elemental, so it triggers Risen Reef, which is pretty cool. But this is a card that can help turn extra lands into damage. And if we're going off with our engine and we need like a little bit of an extra top end, to really kind of close things out, Twister can do that. Pick up 4 lands, fire them all at their face, and kill them. So a pretty cool card. This is a card that might be a little too cute, but Looking for elementals, wanted like one extra threat. It has a large amount of toughness, which is nice. So it's versatile. And then just an okay card too. It's not a bad card in general. So that's Twister. And then one other concession to having a lot of mana and a lot of lands is Castle Embereth, which normally would make the cut in a deck like this because we just don't really need to make our tokens that much better. But if we're pounding through our deck with Risen Reef, drawing cards and playing lands and drawing cards and playing lands, it's pretty easy to find Castle Embereth and turn all these tokens into a pretty lethal clock. So that's the main deck. Super light green splash, just playing a couple green lands and some fast lands and dual lands. Going to our sideboard, we see more of the same. A lot of just good, cheap, interactive spells. Mystical Dispute, Disdainful Stroke, Aether Gust, just all the really good, cheap, interactive spells. Playing 2 copies of Mystic Repeal. Mystic Repeal. Just a really good clean answer to Heliod and other enchantments out of the mono white devotion deck. So a nice tool to have there. A couple of Braids, Rending Volley, Chandra's Defeat. The applications for these cards are all pretty clear. Then we have a few big one-ups. We have Saheeli here for a little extra power against control decks. It's another sticky threat that makes tokens. Trancing Melody, good against large creature decks. Can steal a Heliod, things like that. Things that are a little too annoying to have to kill. One Chandra Awakened Inferno. I wanted to have one big knockout card against like counterspell decks. This card has impressed me a lot in Pioneer. And one Collective Defiance. Now this card, it's just like an okay card. It can kill creatures and planeswalkers. It's fine. The real reason this card is here is for the Inverter matchup. If your Inverter opponent goes for Inverter, and it's to set up for their Thassa's Oracle the following turn, you can make them discard all the cards in their hand, draw all the cards, and just deck. So kind of a cool thing to have access to. If we're Risen Reefing and drawing a lot of cards, and we're concerned they're just going to combo kill us, it's kind of a cool thing to have access to. So it's kind of a cute, interesting one-up. It's good to have a variety of cards in a deck like this because you see so many cards. So that's the deck. Pretty fun, pretty sweet deck here. I'm not going to lie. Played this one on stream a little bit and was quite impressed with the things this deck can do. So we're going to battle with this awesome deck in just a minute here. But first, a quick word from our sponsor at CoolStuffInc.com.
This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com. To learn more about this deck, click the link in the video's description below to read Jim's article.
All right, here we are for round 1. Living Twister in the opening hand. This is a pretty awkward opening hand. We've drawn a couple of our late game cards here. No blue mana, no 1 mana spells. We're on the draw. We're going to ship this hand. This hand just looks a little ugly. Good start so far, it would seem. This hand just really needs a land to get going, I guess. I guess we're going to keep this. We're going to ship this Dive Down, I think. And just hope we draw a land in our first few draws. We're on the draw, so we can draw Opt also. We have 22 lands for Opt. Or I guess 21 lands for Opt. Obviously not a good hand here, but hopefully Chart of Course can fix it. Don't think we can go to 5 here. If that was a 7-card hand, I probably would have mulliganed, but going to 5 is a little sketchy. Breeding Pool tapped, go. And they kept 7. Alright. Young Pyromancer. Well, this is gonna be a real quick one here. I'm gonna draw land in the next turn or two, so Yevamaya Coast, go. Okay, so Breeding Pool, Yevamaya Coast, go. Interesting opening. We have not drawn a land. Well, we'll can see what they're playing here. We'll probably concede to conceal information. Alright, so they're gonna Road Spiral? Okay. What deck plays Yevamaya Coast? Skyline Cascade. Enters battlefield, the creature opponent controls is untapped. Its opponent's untapped step. Oh, okay. Kind of a cool card. A Boreal Razor. We're officially off the map, folks. Castle Embereth. So I guess this is just like a ramp deck. And we've drawn another non-land. Okay. So we certainly have a choice to make here. They have 5 mana in play. It's turn 3. They have 3 cards in hand. And a Castle Embereth. Skylink Escade. That's a card. It does seem like they're just playing some sort of ramp deck. We've only shown them Botanical Sanctum. I think it's pretty clear we're not winning this game. Even if we draw, like, say, a red land next turn, their late game is already going to be online. They would have to have an inconceivable amount of bricks in their hand. And only seeing Botanical Sanctum, they might just think we're playing the combo deck, the Lotus Field combo deck, which would have them board completely incorrectly for us, which is a valuable thing to happen. I suppose they could also think Bant Spirits, but, you know, that's a possibility. But if we move to discard here, most cards we would discard would give away a large amount of information, I think. I think we're going to concede here. We're probably less than like 1 or 2% to win this game regardless. And the information seems important. Now, this is a kind of a go both ways thing where I kind of want to know more about their deck. But I would say Growth Spiral, Arboreal Grazer, Castle Embereth makes it pretty clear we're just like a ramp deck. Probably playing Yavimaya Coast for Worldbreaker. This is probably just a cute card to try and, like, you know, use Arboreal Grazer and Growth Spiral as like a pseudo removal spell to buy time. That's going to be my guess. So we're going to pack it up here and try and conceal some information. And board accordingly for a ramp deck. If I had to discard, we would keep playing, obviously, but this is the point where information would be revealed. So, top card wasn't a land anyway. That wasn't a land either. That wasn't a land either. That wasn't a land either. My inflection can't go much higher than that. So yeah, we were 100% not winning that game. Okay, so we're just going to assume like a ramp deck. We're going to bring in Stroke. Mystical Dispute. Probably. Aether Gust is interesting. You know, ramp decks often play Hour Promise. I don't know. I'm not really sure about that one. I would say we're going to be cutting our Fiery Impulses for sure. They are a blue-green deck, so I'm certainly less interested in Dive Down. I think the Living Twister... Twister's fine. You know, we're concerned with the cards like Ugin Spirit Dragon, probably. I suppose Mortars is probably also really bad. We're not sure, but it seems like it'd be pretty. Maybe Dive Down just fine. Propel Defiance is like okay, I guess. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do this. I think this is fine. Keeping the cheap spell is fine. With a Pyromancer and a Risen Reef in play, just casting any 1-mana spell is pretty awesome. So we'll bring in a few counter spells, and we'll try and actually cast a spell this game, and we'll go from there. Again, we don't know a ton about their deck. We are making some inferences for sure, but not the best way to start our video. You know, just not playing a spell in game 1. But I don't think we were going to 5 with that hand. You know, we are playing like we said. We had 21 lands and 4 opt in our deck, so half of our deck was live for 2 draw steps to not have a problem at all. So, all right, let's go first. And this is certainly a better hand, so we're going to keep this. Still no 1-mana spells. You know, our deck is definitely built on a backbone of 1-mana spells, but opponent mulligans to 6. And they're thinking a lot about these mulligans, so hopefully they're mulligans like Damping Sphere or something. All right, so Steam Vents go. Lumbering Falls. They are very, very Simic. We're Simic too. Hello. Alright, Passage is nice, and no Growth Spiral. Pretty cool. Okay. I mean, we're just going to run these Pyromancers out there, Ramshackles, so... And we can ask ourselves if there's any benefit in Shocking, just as like, you know, a bluff, Mystical Dispute, Wild Slash, Opt, more tokens, just like give them something to think about. I don't think it necessarily is really useful though, so it's funny. They have like a Growth Spiral, so maybe I actually want them to cast it on our turn so we can cast Aether Gust, so... Majoring Network, yeah, okay. So some sort of rampy deck for sure. Hey, buddy. Okay, let's attack first. I don't think leaving up Gust here is relevant. I want to get this Reef in play. Suppose if they go like Growth Spiral into like Hour of Promise, that could punish us pretty hard, but getting Reef online is pretty nice with the 2 Pyromancers in play. So trigger Reef, put that land in play, which is cool. Put that land in play, and see what they've got here. They just have a charge counter on their Mage Ring Network, which is a charge land. You can add counters to it, and then dump them all off for more mana later. A Boreal Grazer. Not as good on turn 4 as it is on turn 1. For Yeb Ghost. Okay. So, that's a pretty good draw. Definitely going to be popping in here. I think we're going to Bonecrusher Giant the Boreal Grazer after they block. Just get triggers going here, and we can make a natural land drop too if we draw a land off the Reef. So let's go red. I don't think having Gust and Scatter at the same time will be necessary. We might just draw land anyway. So trigger this, trigger these. These make 2 elementals. Those trigger Risen Reef. Charter Course goes to hand. Cool. And then a land here, an Opt. That's also pretty good though. So Stomp will kill that. And I guess we're just gonna say go now. So we want to keep up Scatter or Gust. Main phasing an Opt. I guess if we draw a land off the Opt itself, we could play the land. I don't know if that's... Yeah, I guess that's worth it. Like, we draw like a Dispute off the Reef and a land off the Opt. We'll have Dispute and Scatter up, so sure. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can't, so put that in place. It's tapped. They can't Ugin next turn, so... And there's your Mystical Dispute. So draw Mystical Dispute and Opt land. Bonecrusher Giant, bottom. Land. Cool. So, how about that? It's definitely a tale of 2 different games here. Game 1, nothing went right. In Game 2, everything's going right. So, now we have a mana leak for anything, or Scatter, or Gust, plus Dispute also. Alright, here comes something. Hour of Promised. So pretty easy Aether Gust, and that should probably end the game. Yeah, so definitely a tale of 2 games there. One game we didn't cast spells. One game we never were close to losing. So their hand wasn't as good that game, obviously, which is fortunate for us. But you can see the draw of the Risen Reef Young Pyromancer engine that game. We drew 1 million cards, put 1 million lands into play. We were actually ramping harder than they were. You think you're the ramp deck? We're the ramp deck. Look at me. I am the ramp deck now. All right. Yeah, we're running back. we don't really have, we are, definitely relying on a small smattering of counterspells here to hold them back. Some of our cards, aren't really ideal. Wild Slash, Living Twister, Bonecrusher Giant, all not ideal, but at the same time, they shouldn't really be able to do a ton against our Pyromancer Risen Reef stuff. They might have like Aether Gust, things like that, so our dive downs definitely feel pretty nice. If they have a good draw on the play, we could definitely be in trouble. If they just have like turn 1 Grazer, turn 2 Growth Spiral, but it's not really a ton we can do about it, so. These decks are more popular. We could obviously just play more. This is a really good hand. Play more Disdainful Strokes, things like that. So this hand's got the Spell Pierce and the Dispute for early interaction. So we will happily Spell Pierce a Growth Spiral given the opportunity. Well, I said I would do it. It's interesting they would do this now and not on our turn, but definitely is Pierce over Dispute, I think. Dispute's also just a mana leak for things later on, too. It's a little clunky. I think it's still just better than... I don't know, actually. This is actually a pretty tough one. Playing Pyromancer with Pierce up is pretty nice. Pierce certainly... Like Pierce handles an Hour of Promise pretty well. Whereas Dispute is much harder to do. I think I actually had Dispute here. I'm not really sure. I'm honestly not sure, though. I haven't seen enough of their deck to really put it together, but I think countering this is 100% correct. Okay. So the Pyromancer gets untap with Pierce and Bonecrusher Giant, so that's kind of cool. I don't think we're playing Living Twister. You've got nothing. That's pretty good for us. Scatter's not bad either. Alright, we just attack here. There's also a world where we just cast Bonecrusher Giant here. I'm not really scared of what they can do their next turn. If they wanted to resolve a Growth Spiral, they would cast it on their turn. So I'm not really scared of them having 5 mana next turn. And Bonecrusher's a pretty big clock. We get to untap with Pierce or Scatter up. Twister's just like not very good. We're kind of trying to just kill him as fast as possible. Obviously, I can end step Bonecrusher them. That's only 2, and then it's a 1/1. So it does not deal nearly as much damage. I guess it deals 2, then 1, then 1, then 1. As Crusher deals 0, then 4, then 4. Yeah, that's definitely a much faster clock. We'll just do it. We're definitely not a control deck. We're definitely a, kind of like playing like a tempo-y strategy. Eventually our cards will go dead. We need to kill them, so... Okay. Shrine of the Forsaken Gods. Pretty sweet card. Ooh. Hello. That's a magic card. Unexpected results. Shuffle your library, reveal a top card. If it's an online card, cast it for free. If it's a land card, put it into play, and then return results to your hand. This could be anything from Emrakul to a forest. They revealed the forest. Okay, so forest goes to play. The results goes back to their hand, and now if they play a land, they can we can't spell pierce it. But if it's a creature, we can scatter it. I mean, definitely little gamble here, a little gamble. That is very awkward because we only have one blue source. We would certainly like to make a land drop here that was blue. But I think playing Opt looking for a blue land is just too risky. We're just going to say go. Unexpected results. Alright, well we snap Spell Pierce as we're playing it again. Nope. 5 mana for Hour Promise. Alright, it's very easy spell pierce. Cute. Skyline Cascade to tap down our Bonecrusher Giant for a turn. That is frankly adorable. I mean, I feel like we're just literally at the mercy of this unexpected results, whether they hit it or not. You know, if they, that's pretty good. They spike on us, they spike on us. If they don't, they don't. So this is going to put them to 8. So we have lethal. If we make a token, we have exactly lethal. And we're just going to say go. Okay. Well, they have the ability to tap these for 2 because they have 7 or more lands in play. And they are tapping 7 mana. A World Breaker here, I guess, is fine because we have the Essence Scatter. So I believe this is fine for us. You'll Essence Scatter the World Breaker and put lethal in play and hope it's good enough because we have no ability to cast spells anymore unless you draw a blue source. Is that good enough? Scoop lag? No idea. Okay. Scatter resolves. They played the land, right? So they have 2 mana up, and they're at 8. And that was a really good draw. So that should lock it up. They're just dead on board anyway, so... Opponent says, I just want to cast big stuff. GG's. I have played an unexpected results deck on my stream before. It is actually the funnest thing of all time. It's a wild ride. It's a wild ride. You know, if that first result had been an Emrakul, we lose. But it was a farce, so we won. If you like gambling, whew, boy, let me tell you about a card called Unexpected Results. Maybe I'll play that at some point. If you want to see me play an Unexpected Results deck here on CoolStuffInc.com, leave a comment in the YouTube chats and let me know. All right, because it's got to be some, push for something like that. That's a pretty wild ride. So if you want to partake in the comments, let me know. If you're in the Cool Stuff article proper, leave a comment there. Let me know. All right, let me know. Your feedback is important. Unexpected results, very unexpected. Okay, so we saw that game. We're able to play a little bit like a Delver deck. We're definitely a little higher curve than like a super proper tempo deck, but we can play that game too. So another mulligan here, just fun. I mean, we are on the draw with an opt. We're gonna keep this. Hopefully we're gonna play at least one spell this game, right? We're gonna keep. I think we ship the dive down here because we already have extra threats anyway. They kill a threat, we just play another one, and we're light on mana. So leaving up mana for dive down is pretty tough. This hand has the potential to be extremely explosive. We have Chandra and Risen Reefs and stuff, so we'll see what happens. Stomping Ground, go. Interesting. All right, well, we do need to find ourselves a few more lands. Castle Embereth. Popular card. And so some more ramp stuff. This is pretty interesting. Land? No. Land? Yes. Yes, indeed. So, probably some other sort of ramp deck. It's not fun playing against a ramp deck on the draw. Definitely not exactly what we're looking to play against, but have our third land, don't have a red, but hopefully we'll find it off our reefs. I mean, it's definitely not a Niv-Mizzet deck because they're playing Castle Embereth. I don't really know what's going on here, honestly. But sure. We're going to attack and play Risen Reef. if you want to be good against ramp decks, you want to be as low to the ground as possible. We're a little bigger than that, so not ideal, but man, they blocked. Rats. We tried. Tried our best. All right, here's Risen Reef. Let her rip. Red source. Oh, you love to see it. Now we are cooking for next turn. Would love to draw another land, because then we can play Reef or Chandra with Essence Scatter back up. This is a big turn here. They have 6 mana with the Garen break. Oh god, they have Cosmos Return. And they have a land. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. That certainly is a very good card against us. Oh, Living Twister. Living Twister is not your matchup, my friend. Alright, I mean, we're just going to cast Risen Reef and try and keep things going here. Mizzium Mortars will go into our hand. And we will say a prayer, I guess, because the ramp deck with Kozilek's Return is probably a pretty bad matchup for us. Return kills almost all of our threats. This is a world breaker here. We are probably dead. No? Wow. Okay. Well, as the saying goes, so you're telling me there's a chance. We're going to shock here. I'm not sure why we would need to leave up Essence Scatter, but we're probably doing it anyway, so let's just fire away here. All hands on deck. They have a lot of cards in hand, but they aren't doing anything, so make 2 tokens, double trigger Risen Reef. Yes. First trigger, Bonecrusher Giant. Second trigger, Stomping Ground. Cool. And now we're going to attack, and I'm pretty sure we're still leaving up Essence Scatter. The problem is that their scatter, their creature will also probably flashback K-Return and kill my Reef, but we can Planeswalker in play. This isn't the end of the world. They must be flooding really badly, because I couldn't imagine what they'd have in their hand that they have not cast yet. So, not a lot makes sense. They have effectively 7 mana, all their colors, 4 cards in hand. Ipnu Rivulet. This means they might be playing Hour of Promise also. I'm not sure what all these colors are for, but... And we're just sending it back to me. They must be very flooded. Alright. In our upkeep. Alright, this is going to be an Elder Deep Fiend. That's the story here. That's the story we're being told. So we need to counter it. We're going to see if they're probably going to sack the Caryatid to the Emerge cost. No, let's draw. Okay. Are they wanting to do this in response to me getting Risen Reef tokens? This is kind of odd. I mean, we're just going to start on the Chandra 0 because we want to get triggers on Risen Reef. Either way. Peculiar. Elder Deep Fiend costs 8. They have 6. They have 8 mana. They can emerge it. They can do many, many things. I don't know what's happening, honestly. And Spell Pierce, sure. That's a card that plays, I guess. Move to combat. Like, if they're going to Deep Fiend now, I don't really see what the benefit is to letting me get 2 free Risen Reef triggers. I guess they save 2 points of damage, but is that really worth it? I do not know. Alright, so we're going to let them resolve their triggers first. We're going to float some mana in response to the taps, and we'll see if they want to exile their Kozilek turn. It is a May. They don't have to do it. And they'd only really be killing my Risen Reef, and their Caryatid. So I'd like to see if they want to do that first. Then we're going to cast some spells. We are in the combat steps. Any mana floated can't be used on in our main phase, but I guess we're not going to have... I mean, we're going to be Essence Scattering their Deep Fiend anyway, so... If they play another big thing next turn, we really can't do much. Alright, so they're going to decline to K return. So we're just going to scatter and then Bonecrusher Giant them. They didn't block either, did they? It's pretty funny. I guess they wanted to block the Risen Reef with the Deep Fiend. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, we definitely would like to play some other stuff, but all right. So Sanctum tapped. I mean, having a Spell Pierce open here wouldn't be the end of the. Wouldn't be bad. We would like that, but not currently possible. They play another Revealette. Can't play Ulamog yet. They're one short. Yeah, I mean, Ugin the Spirit Dragon is unbelievably good against us. And unfortunately, if our lands worked out better, we could have just Spell Pierced that and probably been fine this game. But beating Ugin the Spirit Dragon seems, I don't want to say impossible, but we'll say exceedingly difficult. Alright, we'll start on Charter Course. More Mizzium Mortars. Can cast Living Twister and deal 2 damage. We can go 3, bounce 2. Yeah, I mean, we can deal 2 to the Ugin. I guess that the Twister can fight the Ugin. That's kind of a cool thing. So green, red, red, Twister, and then red, deal 2 to this, so they can't minus Ugin to kill this, and we have Spell Pierce up. They see have like another Ugin or something. This is certainly not like the most enviable position, but we are still playing the game, I suppose. Pretty cute deck. Revealette is a nice piece of tech against the inverter decks. If they try to, get rid of most of their deck, you just mill them. Forces them to kill in one turn. Euro's obviously a good Magic card. I mean, we can kill Ugin next turn pretty easily, so I probably should have left a Botanical Sanctum untapped so I could bounce a land with Twister. That was a mistake, actually, but they put a Hinterland Harbor in play, sure. Would love them to cast Our Promise here so I could Spell Pierce it. Okay, I mean, they're mostly out. They have a Sylvan Carrot. They're out. They're tapped on stuff to do. So we need to beat this Ugin the Spirit Dragon somehow, while also beating the Euro they have in the graveyard. So we have our work cut out for us, to be sure. But it's unfortunate Mizzium Mortars doesn't deal damage to Planeswalkers also. That's pretty good. So we can Chandra, double attack Ugin, bounce 1 land, shoot it, and then play Bonecrusher also. No, bounce, shoot. Nah, we're 1 short. We can Charter Course though. It's fine, I guess. Alright, so red, colorless, Chandra. Then we can use the flashback on a Mortars to kill the Euro if they are able to do that. They can mill themselves with Revealette, so definitely a cool deck from our opponent, honestly. Makes tokens. Attack Eugene, the Spirit Dragon. I like our opponent's deck. I think it's clever. I think it's a very cleverly designed deck. Alright, so we'll bounce an island. We will deal... Actually, I guess we will... I should Charter Course first, actually. Consider a different land I want to play. Excuse me. Leaving up Spell Pierce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 10 mana currently. Spell Pierce could possibly deal with an Ugin off the top. We're going to Charter Course here. So Charter Course. I should probably tap. You're not going to need multiple red, so... Right? I'm not going to need green either, so... Sure, let's do this. Charter Course. That's a lot of lands. Alright, well, I guess we can leave Spell Pierce up now, right? So let's play Island. And chuck a land at Eugene. Have Spell Pierce up. I guess we tapped the wrong land again. I should let that Sanctum again. Oops. This is usually the best land to leave up. Obviously, what you have Wild Slash our deck. Leaving up a green is not usually a thing we think about, but sure. So they're going to Ipnu Rivulet themselves and get Euro going. We can flash back a Mizzium Mortars and fire off another Mizzium Mortars to kill the Euro. They have another Rivulet too. So this is a little tough. I guess we could also just shock it and then do it. Euro's good. Euro is good. It's kind of cool. Euro's a 6/6. Survives K return also. And they have a Bonecrusher Giant too. Sure. So not a lot we can do here, obviously. Another Euro. Of course, Euro is also a good ramp spell too, so definitely some nice cross synergy there. We're up to 22 life. Yikes. And another Sylvan Carrier too. Okay. I think we're going to... So we can kick Mortars here, and then just deal 2 to Euro, which also kills their Sylvan Caryatids. Which I guess just puts more cards in the graveyard for Euro, but removes their blockers, which is kind of relevant. That's what we're going to do. We're definitely pretty behind this game. So we'll leave that green up like we're supposed to. Kill that. Do this. They had the fuel to Euro again, unfortunately. They have 9 mana, so if they draw Ugin and cast it, it could be pretty cool, but no, I'm just going to fire off Euro again. We can just run the same play of Flashback Mortars, kill Euro. They can't keep Euroing forever. The problem is it just buys them time, and they're eventually going to find Ulamog and kill us. So go to 21 and draw another card. Okay. That card's a little less exciting, but sure. Champion Wits obviously works well with Elder Deep Fiend. Fuel 0. Discard 2 Forest. Scary. And obviously if this dies, they get to Eternalize it, which is very, very good. But they're out of cards. They are completely tapped. So now we're in the ugly spot of we don't even want to kill this. This is going to be a very hard game to win. We need to kill Euro. We don't want to kill Champion of Wits. They just have this Rivulet to get back the Euro anyway. And we've got a Spell Pierce. Oh boy. Alright, let's opt. Try and find a way out of this. Charter Course, not very good. That was pretty good. Alright, let's do that, I guess. Cast Cruise. Land, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the cards we can't flash back. Draw Wild Slash, Chandra, and a land. Again, we really don't want to kill a Champion of Wits. We do not want them to Eternalize it. Although we could flashback Mortars for the full cost and then slash the Euro again. Just feels like we're not winning the game, you know? Alright, let's do it, I guess. Like if they hadn't gained 9 or 12 life off Euro this game, we'd probably just burn them out. But like we're certainly operating, you know, reasonably well here. Oh. Am I wrong? Can you not overload? Oh wow. I was trying to cheat. Apparently, you are not able to play it from its overload cost from the graveyard. I had no idea. Wow. That sucks. Okay. Yeah, well, that's takes away a little bit of the fun of a deck for sure. It's obviously not, you know, we can still cast it regular, but all right, I guess we're just casting that for 2. I did not know that that's how that worked. And there's no point in playing. We have slash 3, 2, and 3. I guess we're going to just slash here and kill the Euro again, and then play Bonecrusher Giant. And I think we are not going to attack and put Champion in the graveyard because that just seems foolish. So, okay, well, I did not know that. You can kick her from the graveyard with Chandra. I'm almost positive of that. But I guess kicker is an additional cost, whereas Overlord's a different way to play it. I'll have to look that one up afterwards. I did not think that's how that worked. So they're going to mill themselves for 4 again. They hit Emrakul, another Euro, another K return. They're going to Euro again, which we don't really have a good answer to. Honestly, in our entire deck. I suppose this is a spot where Lava Coil would have been better than Mortars. They have multiple Euros anyways, so. All right, Euro once again. So now they've gained 15 life off Euro. Of course, the problem being eventually they're going to draw an Ulamog or a LGD Fiend or something and just kill us. Which feels pretty bad, but all right, let's bounce the land. Untap and figure out how we're going to win this game. I don't really know how it's going to happen. More lands, more lands. Once they start attacking with Euro, also, it becomes really hard to win, too. I guess we could just, like, shoot Euro 3 times. Doesn't really feel good, but we do have a lot of lands in our hand. That's certainly a path we can take. I guess that's what we're doing. Doesn't feel good to kill Euro like 10 times in one game, you know? And then we'll just go to attack. I'm not happy to give him the Eternalize, but so we deal 4. We can bounce another land with Living Twister. It is funny that many turns ago, they did Ugin us, and if we had just had a blue source on tap, we would have countered it and probably won the game. But that is Magic. Ugin the Spirit Dragon, pretty good card, pretty good card. Won a pretty decent amount of money playing Ugin the Spirit Dragon, I really can't complain, I guess. Activate Castle Embereth. Tap 1,000,000 mana. Or not. Or not. Garenberg means Spell Pierce, probably not good. Or red, red, blue, blue, green. Green. Oh man, we're one short of Spell Pierce on Ugin. Oh, they're Eternalized, sure. So, Eternalized that comes to play, they're going to draw 4 and discard 2. Which gives them a pretty good chance of playing Euro this turn, unfortunately, but I don't really think... I mean, I guess we could have, like, not attacked, but that just seems crazy. Discard another hero and another Champion of Wits. Yeah. Oh, that's a mountain. Can't play Euro. Whew. So we need to find a way to deal a lot of damage in the next 2 turns, or less. I don't really know how we're going to do that. But let's bounce a land. Might as well have it in our hand. Untap. Draw. Up, they're going to Deep Fiend. So Champion of Wits has a printed cost, even as an Eternalized creature. As you can see right here, there's the token. So I get a Deep Fiend us here, and then kill our... No. Oh, it has no mana cost. Never mind. God Pharaoh's Gift leaves the mana cost. Eternalized does not. So... But they obviously have a Deep Fiend in their hand, and we probably just can't ever win, which is unfortunate. Because they just have a 4/4 and a Deep Fiend and a Euro and they're 20 life. So I think we're just gonna concede this game. We're just go to the next game. I think we're pretty in over our heads here. Their deck's cool. Their deck's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Certainly attacks from a lot of different angles. All right. We are pretty soft to the card Euro. Because most Euro decks just play a fair game, so we can kind of like outgrind them with Risen Reef, but when your opponent's got Kazalek's Return flashbacks and Ugin the Spirit Dragon and stuff like that, then doesn't really work so well. We're bringing Disputes, Strokes, Gusts. Honestly, I don't hate this card. Transing Melody. If we could steal a Euro, that's pretty good. Like, how many ways do they have to deal with Euro? You know, it's a 6/6. Our Fiery Impulses are pretty awful. Our Dive Downs are pretty bad. They do save creatures from the front side. It can save one creature from the front side of Castle turn. Other than that, not very good. Our Bonecrushers are pretty bad. Essence Scatter is pretty good, I would say. Spell Pierce. I don't think you want Spell Pierce. And the Mortars and the Wild Slashes also aren't very good. You can like double up to kill some stuff. That does not feel great at all. Defiance, Abrade, Rending Volley, Defeat. And Twister's like wasn't bad that game. It kind of like let me stay in the game for a while. But Mortars, Pyromancer. We're gonna leave it dive downs in, I think. It's good against Bonecrusher Giant also, so wacky game. Wacky game. So yeah, as we said in the first match, we're not really, our sideboard's not really built to beat ramp. And haven't seen many ramp decks in Pioneer lately, but here we are 2 in a row. We're going to try our best. This hand's definitely good. We could play the Spirebluff to be able to counter a mystical... Never mind, we're going to play. Making stuff up. Alright, I mean, this hand's pretty sweet, so can't complain too much. The fact that they can kill my stuff is pretty scary. Like the previous deck was a blue-green deck. They couldn't actually kill my creatures. Whereas they just have like Bonecrusher Giant and stuff. We're just going for it though. There's no time for subtlety here. We're just going to cast our creatures. And if they have Bonecrusher Giant, it's going to die. Realistically. It's like good and bad. Alright. It's a little awkward, but sure. Alright, well, we are taking turn 3 off. We are playing Risen Reef. And we're hoping we get to untap with both of our creatures in play. That's really where we're at right now. Oops. Once again, no time for subtlety here. So let's get a Reef trigger. In more interactive matchups, we could like pace ourselves, try and play with some mana up. We can play a spell in response to a removal spell, things like that. But I mean, they're trying to kill us. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we really have an option, unfortunately. They just seem to line up really, really well against us, which is not cool. But looks to be the world we're living in. Champion of Wits. Gonna hold this dispute. They're gonna pitch Nissa, who shakes the world, and a Champion of Wits. Alright. We'll slash this champion so they can't Deep Fiend us. Already have one in the bin. It's not like we're like you have a huge advantage. You also have the crews you want to cast, which is not really looking too great. Yeah, this game has not panned out too well for us. All right, well, we're gonna play one of the worst cruisers of all time. Seems they have us beat on almost every front here. Nissa, who shakes the world. I mean, can't even dispute that one. All right, we're going to cut our losses here to go to the next match. That's a sweet deck, honestly. I might actually message them at some point and see what their list looks like. That deck seems awesome. It's obviously like everything they have lined up really well against us. So like when you get trounced, the deck obviously is going to look good. But just the concept seems pretty sweet. The idea of playing Euro, Caryatid, Kozilek's Return. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Very cool deck. Very cool deck. Yeah, like the ramp deck with K Return. It's tough. It's tough stuff. It's funny because like we really were in that game one if they just weren't able to cast Euro 10 times. I mean, if our Mizzium Mortars had been Lava Coil, we probably, I don't know if we would have won that game, but we would have been able to deal with the Euros. So it's a slight count against Mizzium Mortars, I suppose, but kind of a pretty corner case scenario. Yeah, that's a cool one. Sometimes you just get rocked and you gotta take a step back and appreciate it, you know? Sometimes you leave that fastball hanging and it gets deposited 500 feet in the upper deck and you just gotta be damn. That ball went a long way. Running out of, things to say. I'll wait for this next match here. We lost. Opponent's deck good. All right, there we go. But yeah, I would say Kozilek's Return, Galvan Chain Whirler, those kind of cards like Pyroclasm-y, small damage cards are like the real bane of our deck. Chain Whirler in particular is a really bad one. Okay, so not a great hand, but we're going to keep. It's pretty hard to mulligan this one. You got the Optic Removal Spell. You have a Charter Course to clean our hand up if we really need to. Opponent mulligans to 6. We are on the play. So this Opt is going to be looking for Risen Reef or a Pyromancer to get our engine going. All right. Botanical Sanctum, you are up, my friend. Basic Forest Llanowar. So now, the question is, do we Mizzium Mortar the Llanowar or not? That's a question we're going to think about. Well, I guess we don't need to anymore. All right, so we'll keep that on top. Most common deck playing Forest Llanowar is Mono Green Devotion. Well, you're really looking on these Mizzium Mortars. Maybe I actually want to Mizzium Mortars now and just save the slash for a better. Yeah, actually, we're gonna Mizzium Mortars now. Now that we have 3 copies of the card, they're very redundant, and we have a wasted mana this turn anyway. So next turn we can go chart and slash if we want to. So the idea of overloading mortars is pretty cool, but upon a mulligan to 6, we're definitely killing their elf. Let's do so in the most mana efficient way possible. Rootbound Crag. And another elf. Okay. So I guess we're just casting a naked Charter Course here. I'm not really thrilled about it. We would like to draw 2 off this just straight up, but seems okay, I guess. Hey, it's pretty funny. All right, we're just gonna pitch a Charter Course here. We're a little Charter Course flooded, but play this and just slash the Mystic, I guess. Opponent mulligans on the play. You're pretty happy to trade 1 for 1 with their Llanowar. So still have 2 kill spells here. You can kill some important things if they're playing who knows what. This is definitely a game we want to draw Cruise. We've already got 5 cards in the bin. So want to draw one of our 2 cruises, Risen Reef, Pyromancer. Chandra's fine. All right. I don't know what took so long. That seems like a pretty good play. So they guarantee value if their Album Master kind of sucks. I think killing their elf is still correct. I'm a anti-proponent of the Bolt the Bird axiom magic. I think that is often very incorrect. Castle Embereth. All right, I guess we're gonna guess we're casting Charter Course. And that stinks. We'd love to Mortars would set its scatter up, but let's pitch the Sanctum. It's just never going to come in unzapped. So play Castle, Mortars the Rabble. They still have 3 cards in hand. Definitely, we're definitely not a control deck. We're definitely a deck that wants to play threats. So this sort of game doesn't really suit us super well. Like a boss. Now the question is, do we build towards a Mortars and take a huge hit next turn or not? Let's see what our draw is. This is a big turn for Pyromancer or Risen Reef. Or hear me out, how about the 4th copy of Charter Course? Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. I guess. Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. So if we try and go for the Humongo Mortars, we will take at least 5 next turn. And it's not like they don't know we have Mortars in our deck, so they might just play around it anyway. But it also requires us to keep a land here, I think, which sucks. So let's just ship the Spirebluff Canal. And I guess we're just going to Mortars again for the 5th time. Very consistent game. 4 Charter Course, all 3 Mortars. We can flash back a spell from our Chandra. These tokens are really annoying, but definitely not cool to draw all 4 Charter Course before we draw a single copy of Risen Reef, Young Pyromancer, or Treasure Cruise. Now they're going to Glorybringer us. No, just play another War Boss. And why did they shock? Interesting. Oh, man. Alright, I guess we're going to Chandra and kill the War Boss. This game has gone pretty far off the script. Cast Wild Slash. We could shock, leave up Scatter. It's a good mulligan of 6 for them, too. I guess they played 5 lands. Are they playing, like, Blossoming Defense or Collision Colossus or something? Gonna make me feel dumb for not Mortarsing instead of Warbossing. Alright. You got me. A Stomp, sure. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's they really got us going good here. Alright, well, we're gonna shock because we can Essence Scatter the Bonecrusher Giant and hope we draw a spell, I guess. Gruul Spellbreaker. Okay. It's almost as bad. Oh, man. Our deck must look so weird. We each haven't drawn any of our like, namesake cards. And they misclick and don't attack. Awesome. And we draw Wild Slash. God, come on. Please. Just please give me something. Please. We're not casting as Wild Slash because we want to, I'll say Embercleave, because we want to hopefully draw Pyromancer and make some sort of forward progress. And they're not going to cast Bonecrusher Giant? Wow. And we're going to cast or draw our own. That's pretty good, actually. Alright. Opponent says, I hate Magic Online. Alright, so we're going to stomp this goblin. That 3 life they gifted us by not attacking might come into play here. You don't really miss triggers on Magic Online. You miss you can F6 your attack step. I would say that Magic Online, you never miss a trigger because it always does it for you. Alright, there's their Bonecrusher Giant, which is fine. And an Eldritch Mystic, sure. And a land. Alright, we need a spell here, folks. We need to draw some sort of spell. That's gutsy. That spell. Alright. Okay, thank you, Mr. President. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's that from? Like a movie or something, right? That's quote movies. Young Pyromancer, perfect. Yeah, that's fantastic. So we should play Langs. We already have all of our things gone. Pyromancer. I doubt that Pierce will be useful, but we get to say go. Independence Day. That's what that's from. It's a good movie. All right, Mr. President. So they move to combat. We are at 6, and they're just bringing the party here. I guess we're gonna just offer our Bonecrusher for their Bonecrusher. So we'll just Wild Slash here. Kill this. Token blocks Goblin. Bonecrusher blocks Bonecrusher. And we're at a game state of Pyromancer v the world. Just hope it didn't draw a spell. If they drew Embercleave, we're dead. But what are we going to do? We drew our best possible card. Only be fair if they drew their best possible card. Could have Spell Pierce drawn a spell there, I guess. Just for an extra token. And like paid for it. But I probably should have done that, actually. Thinking about it. Like, what the hell? This is never doing anything else. This should just be a token in play. Alright. Please don't Embercleave me. Please, I'm begging you. Stomp targeting Pyromancer. That's pretty good. I guess it's like, now we look at geniuses because we get to Spell Pierce says they have to pay for it and they can't cast the Bonecrusher. And we get a token off of it, but not ideal. Not ideal. So another cruise, Risen Reef. This is the dive down. Ooh, boy. Alright, so now it's our token versus their Bonecrusher Giant, but we draw the first card. So let's make it a good one. Risen Reef. Stomping Ground. We ain't blocking. They have a haste creature. It probably has trample. Spellbreaker, so might as well attack for 2. Yep. Alright. Cruise or Risen Reef. Or Mountain. I guess we're blocking now. We're not going to 2. Cool art. Bad land. Alright. Risen Reef. Opt. Opt. Okay. This is the game that never ends. Red, blue, green. Risen Reef. Trigger. Dive down. Look at the card, they say. Okay. I mean, looks like we're going to 2, which is not really a nice place to be against the Bonecrusher Giant haste creature deck, but okay, that's bad. Alright, well, now we're going to block and dive down to stay alive and keep our Reef alive, so we better have some pretty good draws next turn. Alright, go to 2. Definitely have some good draws this turn. Second Risen Reef or Chandra would be insane. Not a Pyromancer, though. Not a Pyromancer. Alright. I mean, tough game there. Obviously, our draw was heinously bad. I mean, drawing all 4 Charter Course before any business spells is pretty unrealistic, but that's okay. We should line up reasonably well against them. We have a lot of removal. We get to bring in Entrancing Melody, definitely. Kind of like Saheeli against them. Aether Gust is phenomenal. Abrade is just one of the extra kill spells, I think. Defiance does kill 4 toughness creatures. And then Chandra's Defeat seems pretty good, too. It's a lot of cards you can bring in. What's coming out is the big question, I guess. We definitely don't want Spell Pierce. Essence Scatter seems good. Chandra Acolyte of Flame is definitely not as good as we would like it to be. And a lot of cards to bring in, not a lot of cards to take out. Charter Course is like, we're not going to be attacking as much, so we're defensive. It could be a card we shave. Love Cruise, love Reef. Twister is weird. It does block really well, honestly. Maybe we don't want. Saheeli's a little rough. I guess they have tramplers and stuff too. And Defiance does 4, but so does the 3 Mizzium Mortars and Defeat. This card is just kind of slow and crappy. All right, sure. Let's do this. That's a large amount of removal. And obviously our card draw engine's a lot better than theirs. We just need to not die for the most part. We have 7 1-mana spells to kill various Goblin Rabblemasters. Gust for the big things. We should be in fine shape here. And then I think Dive Down's pretty good against them. If you ever counter a Bonecrusher with a Dive Down, it's pretty insane. Very weird game, though. Very weird game. Alright, going first. That's a keeper. Let's go. So we're gonna bolt an elf here. Again, I'm not always about wild slashing or bolt the bird on turn 1, but they're a deck predicated on 3 drops, so we'd love to draw a spell. Definitely. Alright, we're gonna play this and say go. All future fast lands are now tap lands, but there's no real point in playing this untapped this turn. Cindervines? I guess that plays. It's like a really weird Eidolon of the Great Rebel. But it's kind of odd. They're not really a burn deck, you know? Draw Fire Impulse, sure. So every spell we cast has a 1 mana or 1 life tax on it. Seems fine. Alright, so they get in for 1 with Rabble Master. We're going to Mizzium Mortars it and keep our Impulse up for the next one. I would love to draw Pyromancer here. Make my day and draw Pyromancer, please. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. I think his deck likes this. All right, now we're going to Impulse. I'm not going to shock. I think our life total actually kind of matters. The Cindervine's in play, so Impulse is bad boy. Take 1. Trigger Risen Reef. Look at the card. Put Opt in our hand. Impulse that. Play, I guess, Breeding Pool tapped. We could shock and Opt. I probably should have shocked and Opt. I don't know. I'm a little concerned with like closing the game out with the Cindervines. Maybe we should have shocked for an Opt. It's an extra token and an extra Risen Reef trigger and an Opt. I might have been wrong. Definitely don't like the idea of being cheesed out by Cindervines. So we got to 15. They'd crash in for 4 here. Yeah. I'm making a 4/4. Interesting. And a Mystic? Sure. This is great. Alright. You want to play a long game with us? That's fantastic. We have another Mizzium Mortars to overload too. Alright, so we'll just start with Mizzium Mortars. We're going to be opting twice probably too, but start here. Trigger Pyromancer. Make a token. Essence Scatter. Nice. That is a nice one. And again, I don't think we're going to... I guess we want to find a land for Mizzium Mortars. Just blow them out next turn. Yeah, we'll shock. All right. I think 17 is high enough where we can feel comfortable. And then we'll get him with the 1 token. So if what they play is terrifying, we'll scatter it. If not, let's opt twice and then overload Mizzium Mortars. I would say that is not terrifying. So we're gonna opt here and trigger Pyromancer. Probably make some blocks, I guess. I don't. How much we block and don't block is definitely up for debate. That's pretty cool. Let's see what this op says. You can also just like not overload and just like cast Mizzium Mortars and block stuff. That's pretty good too. All right, yeah, I think we're just gonna we're just gonna opt again and block all 3 things, and then we'll just untap and play Pyromancer and Mizzium Mortars. Yeah, I'll keep that one too. Let's just go all the way. Yeah. Pretty good stuff. Sure. Yeah, as you can see, the Pyromancer Risen Reef engine is not bad. We are 12, which like I said, I am concerned about getting cheesed out by this Cindervines, but we are about to go bananas. So let's cast this Pyromancer, Abrade. I don't want to get like cheesed by some sort of mass removal spell, because they can't play Chain Whirl or anything, right? We'll just scatter up. We'll just go land, Abrade their War Boss. 1,000,000 triggers, attack for 1,000,000. Let's scatter up. Feels good. Dive down too. Man. Wild Slash too. Oh. It's having fun. Alright, so I kind of hope they board out Cindervines. Like, it didn't really do anything in that game. It kind of just died. I was still at 10 life, but it actually does scare me a little bit. I would like them to see how it was that game and then board it out. Even though on the draw it scares me, but we'll run it back. That game went pretty close to plan. Kill all of our stuff, play Risen Reef, play Pyromancer, make a million, tokens and land drops and cards and kill them. So can't really complain too much about that game. Again, the 7 1-mana removal spell deck against the Goblin Rabbit Master deck seems to be good for us. Definitely want to draw the fast lands too. Drawing fast lands is nice. Drawing all shock lands can be a little bit of a scary one in the aggressive matchups. We have 7 fast lands and 2 basics, so they're taking a while. So I would appreciate it if those Cindervines came out. I don't think they're even like great against me, but I feel like it's a good way for them to cheese us out of the game. It did deal probably 8 damage that game. It was cast on turn 2 over a creature, but if they played a creature, I would have killed it. So it being a non-creature threat is surprisingly relevant as well. Okay. Opponent has kept 7 cards. We have a pretty good hand. It's a little light on cheap removal, but we're going to keep. They have a 3rd elf in a row. We might be in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, okay. It's 3 games in a row. Okay. I mean, we're going to play a tap land here. I guess they're going to get to Albmaster us. And we can, play a land, Abrade it. And then maybe we can go, Pyromancer Opt or Risen Reef. Alright. It's a good hand on the play. It's a good hand on the play, I guess another untapped land isn't the worst, but we're going to do this now, just in case they have I don't know, we're going to do a beginning combat step anyway, so if they curve out really good on us here, we're probably going to die. I mean, them having the nut Lana relevant to War Boss on the play draw versus us not drawing a 1-mana removal spell on the draw is pretty scary. If they put Questing Beast or just anything really scary here, it's not cool. Yeah, alright. We are playing a lot of kill spells. I would like to draw one of them. So they have 3 cards left. And they're just putting it all on the line. That's actually pretty good against us. Oh, that's an answer to it. That's good. So they have 2 cards in hand. And they have a Lovestruck Beast in exile. We could just rock the Reef this turn. So we can't kill the War Boss anyway. I don't want to Gust a War Boss. I want to do better than that. We play Pyromancer and Opt. That's okay, but it's a low floor. Or it's not the best thing ever. I think if we're going to go for a setup turn, we want to go Risen Reef. Then next turn we can go Pyromancer Gust or Pyromancer Opt spell. So we're just going to go for Reef here. It might just get crushed if they have a Stomp or something, but we also hit a land. It's pretty good for us too. So okay. That is something to build towards. I don't know if we're going to get there, but that is something to build towards. So we're taking 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, taking 8 next turn. So it feels like best draw possible next turn, just any 1 mana removal spell. If we can play War Boss or kill the War Boss and play Pyromancer, that would be very, very nice for us. The Elf not coming in is really scary because it means they have a double spell they want to do, and I think that means my Reef is probably going to die. They're just saying go. Okay. It's interesting. But why? Why would they just say go? Because they have Bonecrusher Giant and they want to cast it in response to me playing an Elemental on my Risen Reef? Not playing Lovestruck Beast doesn't play around anything. Nothing can kill beasts that would kill everything else. They must have Bonecrusher Giant. I mean, why would they not attack with the Elf too, though? Very strange. I'll say double Bonecrusher Giant or something of that nature. I mean, we can go Pyromancer, just Pyromancer, Gust, War Boss, and make a block and just try and set up our 6 mana Mizzium Mortars. Spike a land off Risen Reef, we can do it next turn. I feel like this is not going to go well for us, but I don't think we really have a better play, so we could also opt into try and finding a 1 mana removal spell. We do have 7 of them, so we have two looks at it, so we're 2 out of 40, or I don't know what the math is, whatever. I'm not gonna act like I do, but that seems like it's probably not necessary, so we'll put a stop on their second main. Okay. Okay, so they want to move to combat. Very weird. Very, very weird. So if we gust the War Boss, we get a token, we get a trigger. Our blocks certainly aren't. We're gonna take a lot. I mean, we're mostly just hoping that we spike the land off Risen Reef and cast Mizzium Mortars. Although we could have a good turn next turn if Pyromancer lives. Yeah, we're just gonna gust. Do they have a way to kill my Risen Reef? Oh. Okay. So, sure, their stuff is now indestructible and hexproof. That's obviously not cool, but okay. It's a kind of weird card to have, but sure. All right. We hit this, trigger Risen Reef. Another Mizzium Mortars. God damn it. All right. Now we're pretty close to dead. So we can't even block and kill anything. If we chump block, we take 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and go to 3. So 2, 4, 5, 6, and go to 3. I think we're just going to 3 here. I think this is fine. Wouldn't go to 2, but they kill me, they kill me. What are we going to do? You know, like, they have Colossus too. Target's command. All right. I mean, sometimes they got it all and your hand isn't very good. I mean, on the draw, we kept a fine hand. I'm not sad we kept it. We just didn't draw a 1-mana removal spell. They had their perfect curve on the play. They killed us on turn 5 with an interactive spell. That's just magic sometimes. You know, like, if we draw a 1-mana removal spell and they don't draw land off, we win the game easily, and so on and so forth. You know, like, so that's one that doesn't really feel like, you know, like, whatever, I guess. It sucks to lose, but don't think that, yeah, whatever. All right. That sucks. Matchup seems really good, but don't know how many more one mana kill spells we can play in our deck. Oh, come on. You know, opponent mulligans to 6. All right, we're going to mulligan 2. Opponent keeps 6. We're going to 5. All right, sounds sweet. Let's keep this. We're going to ship Charticourse and probably a land, right? Because we were on the draw. Yeah, so you ship a land here. It's pretty good for 5 cards. We can do a lot of stuff with this hand. We'll see how what they've got. All right. I mean, if our Risen Reef goes untouched, ooh. Yeah, we're gonna opt. We need to find that 3rd land. Tithe? No? Okay. Yeah. So opt. There's that 3rd land. And we're gonna Mortars here. And offense is pretty good on turn 2, so Castle Embereth? Sure. Now we have a little bit of a red mana deficiency here as far as casting Chandra, but hopefully Risen Reef can help out with that a little bit. All right, sure. Sure. As far as 5 cards hand go, I can't complain too much here. Big Risen Reef action. Young Pyromancer. Look at the card, sure. So now I just want to draw any, I guess not any, we need to draw a red spell. Arcanist Owl, sure. Turns on Heliod by itself. Wow. That's good. But they whiffed. The whiff. Wow. Okay, so good news, bad news. It is a spell. It's not a bad spell, but it's awkward. And we're again tight on red mana here, but we'll see if they sniff this out. I mean, all right, we are taking $1 million here. Ugh. Really need them to cast a spell before combat. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're dead to the owl next turn. Oh, man. All right, we got to block with something. Got to block. I guess we're going to keep the Pyromancer in play. Giving the Reef doesn't really seem super effective. We need blockers for Heliod. Draw a kill spell for Arcanist, I guess. It feels terrible. It feels so bad. But we just can't go to 3 here. Oh, man. Pretty frustrating game. Pretty frustrating game. Mulligan to 5. None of your cards line up right. Can't draw the right colors. Brutal. Just brutal. Well, we got a good sideboard this matchup. This matchup seems fine as long as we can contain Heliod. We are playing 100,000 removal spells, so let's bring in our Mystic Repels, our Rending Volley. These are the cards that are maybes. Abrade. I think we got the Melody too, honestly. And then we want to cut Spell Pierce, not too good. I don't think Living Twister is really where it's at. Like Dive Down. They don't have too many things for Dive Down, but the ones they do are pretty important. And we can afford to go a little slower against them, I think. Might be like a Chart Course or two. We could shave a Chandra. We're on the play, though. It's pretty good on the play. Yeah, let's shave a Chandra and a Chart Course. Let's save two Chart Courses. Let's keep a Chandra. All right, let's try this. We have tons of removal. Repel gives us answers to Heliod, and also their removal spells too. They go to Stasis Snare, my Risen Reef. Get myself another trigger off that one. Pretty cool. So. All right, we got Opt. We got the old Opski. Opt's going to take us to the promised land. Opponent keeps 7. Let's go. We shocking. We opting. Find a nice red source. Get this hand rolling. Nope. Nope. Yep. Now, the big question is, do you want to shock here or not? And then the question is, do I want to play Reef on 3 or wait till 4 to dive down? Shocking obviously says, hey, I have a Wild Slash, or hey, I have a removal spell, don't play a creature. I think we're going to wait. Let's play land tap as they go. The life is not super relevant in this matchup. It's more so just like the, hey, I have a kill spell, don't play a creature, and that's even better. So I don't want to kill it anyway, so. Great. Let's untap. And Sanctum, perfect. So we're going to wait a turn. We're not going to cast our Reef yet. We have Dive Down. They have no pressure. With no Chew Drop there, that makes me think it's very likely they have Baffling End, things like that in their hand too, so. Take the beats. Take the beats. Heliod here is annoying, but we can contain the other cards. It's fine. We'll eventually find a Mystic Repel. There's an argument towards slashing this to keep Devotion down. We're going to have a bunch of other removal spells too. Yeah, sure. Pyromancer, love it. We are online. Actually, I guess we're lacking in red mana, which is pretty annoying, actually. We can't go Pyromancer and spell, but tapping 4 for Walking Ballista on 2, which is pretty damn annoying. Okay. Okay, we're going to untap here. Yeah. Another copy of Risen Reef. Once again, our lack of red mana is really hurting us. So, obviously we can kill the Ballista. They just kill the Reef in response. We die down, they go up response again. And we're just like a little short on everything. If we just had Play Pyromancer. We need to leave Red up or they can just kill us next turn with the combo. I guess we just lose our Reef, whatever. They have 4 cards in hand. We just Wild Slash the Ballista. They shoot the Risen Reef. I guess we could just shoot the Reef or shoot the Ballista and just play a new Reef. That's kind of fine. Then we won't have any protection up for it. It's pretty annoying, honestly. Yeah, this is really, really awkward. All right. Yeah, all right, whatever. Slash this, Reef dies, and then we just play the other Reef. Oh, man, come on. Crack Glue's a good start. And Benwash Marshall, okay. On tap. Red Source. Okay. I think this is still a pretty easy Pyromancer. Just say go, dive down up. We have Rending Volley next turn. We got, good stuff going on. They have Land Ballista, we're dead. Actually, yes, just any Ballista, we're dead because of the Marshall. I mean, yeah, we couldn't cast Pyromancer and leave up a way to stop it. So, all right, you got us. Sometimes things just don't go your way. This has been a monumentally frustrating league. It really feels like basically everything's broken not our way. I wouldn't say our deck is like the best deck in the universe, but we really just haven't caught many breaks. Honestly, the Teamer deck just seemed like a pretty bad matchup for us. We were still in the games, and then the last 2 rounds. I mean, that match obviously was just stupid. We just mulliganed a million times and stuff, and then couldn't cast our spells. But I think we're playing enough red sources. There are 8 lands in our deck that don't tap for red out of 22. Yeah. So just stronger. Let's win this last one. Deck's super sweet. Deck's definitely super sweet. It's even in like the red-green matchup where we were on the draw against, Rabmaster turn 2 on the play. You could say, well, maybe we need more 1-mana removal. Well, we have 7. We need more than that. It's I don't know. It is what it is. That game, we only had 1 red source, so we just couldn't really afford to leave mana up in case they had a second ballista. So, all right. I'll keep this. Sounds pretty good. Breeding Pool tapped, sure. All right. Just play Island, say go. Interesting. That goes bottom. About to say we don't need any more lands, but that much is obvious, obviously. Play, I guess, just Stomping Ground. Tapped. Another ramp deck? Keep that one on top, I guess. All right. Thankfully, it's like it's not a red one. As long as they're not playing oh my god. As long as they're not playing it's just the same deck as last time. What is this? It's like a Saffron Olive deck or something? Are we currently experiencing the Saffron Olive effect? I mean, we can't do anything. Like, they just have a million lands to play on turn 3. Mm. Skyline Cascade. Unexpected Results ramp deck. Okay. I guess leaving up Scatter would have been nice, but usually it's an Hour Promise turn, I guess, not a Golos turn. Damn, folks. I don't know what to tell you. Guess we're reefing. Or you might get Ugin or something, but Mizzium Mortars, alright. Spirebluff Canal, alright. I guess we're gonna opt. Don't like where his game is headed, not gonna lie. Yeah, we're dead. Not really seeing a way out of this turn 5 Ugin on the play here. Again, only if Mizzium Mortars hit Planeswalkers, you know? I think most burn spells should really hit Planeswalkers. Okay. Yeah, that's a game. That's a game Magic we just played for sure. Alright, I mean, it looks like the deck we played against earlier playing Unexpected Results. I guess Golos makes sense in that deck, right? Your deck's just full of big, dumb, uncastable things, so... Alright. Uncastable, I say, as I cast Ugin on turn 4. Alright, let's regroup. Let's regroup. Bring in our counterspells, Disputes, Gusts, Stroke. Cut out Mizzium Mortars and Fiery Impulse. I'm gonna leave a dive down, so I could have like Contortion or things like that. Can't imagine them playing that many Golos, so I don't think I want like Abrade or anything like that. Probably fine. Very, very bizarre league. 3 ramp decks, red, green, aggro. I guess mono white devotion is pretty standard, but 3 decks ramping into large Eldrazi. 3 decks playing Ugin the Spirit Dragon. It's a good card. It's a good card. Alright. Okay, this hand's pretty sweet. We're gonna ship one of the reefs. Yeah, I think 1 is enough. We want the card draw and the interactive spells. So definitely want to just like draw a green source my first 2 draws. Yeah, one of those would be great. Breeding Pool sounds great. No. All right, they're saying go. We're drawing a non-green source, but the consolation prize is we get to chart a course with Dispute up and hopefully counter a what's it called here? A Growth Spiral. Chart a course. Draw 2. Dispute the Growth Spiral. Steam Vents. Road Spiral. I mean, this being a mana lake is kind of fine, honestly, so... Alright, so there it is. And the problem is that we want to be able to counter a Golos or Hour of Promise next turn, so we almost can't even cast Risen Reef. I'm pretty sure we're just attacking here. It doesn't feel great, but... Yeah, I'm just going to play this in shock. Say go. We're probably just going to end step Bonecrusher. Oh, man. Alright, I guess. I don't want to get Emmercooled, so you got me. For those who don't know what the Saffron Olive effect is, Saffron is the brainchild behind MTG Goldfish. Good dude, Seth. Hello, everybody, it's Seth. Probably better known as Saffron Olive. And Seth's great. I like Seth a lot. I've worked with him before in a few things and played some tournaments with him before. And MTG Goldfish is so popular that when he puts up some sort of like fun budget deck or some fun kind of wacky deck, the next day or two, everyone just goes out and buys it and plays it. So I'll have to see if this is his doing, because playing this deck twice in the same league is pretty surprising to say the least. I mean, we gotta draw some spells. Risen Reef, help me out, my friend. I mean, that is a spell, but well, I guess they're not gonna Ugin the Spirit Dragon us, right? They're pretty far from that. Unless they unexpected results into one, in which case you sign the slip and you go get some food, We're just gonna shove here. I want to make sure I have lethal next turn, so through a Euro or something like that. So just go for it. Do your worst. Do your worst. God, they're playing respect results. I can't even look. Up, they had never cooled the Promised Tent. It might actually be fine this game. I don't think it actually wins the game. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Like, take my turn. Like you're just dead. So that's best case scenario. They hit Emmercool but still can't win. Oh man. Oh man. What a league we're playing here. What a league. All right. Yeah, let's just go into game 3 here. See what we can do. Don't think we're changing anything. We're pretty well practiced for the unexpected results matchup. I think we got our sideboarding down to a fine art here. It's one of the great things about Magic, and one of the things that makes you pull your hair out. There's obviously times where you can have a good deck and things don't go good. Sometimes you can have a bad deck and things do go good. I'm not saying that our deck is definitely awesome, but I think it's fine to keep this. Sometimes the game just goes crazy and unexpected things happen. You get unexpected results from your matches. This is not what I was expecting when I signed up for this league. All right, so let's play Sanctum and say go. We're probably going to opt Skyline Cascade. There it is. So we're looking for probably a land here. Yeah, I think we got to keep this. I want to be able to make our land drops and have counter magic up, so we're going to keep this breeding pool. Don't love it. Kind of wish it was a red land. Now I just Sanctum, and I wish I bought that breeding pool so fast, but that's life, I guess. It's going to be a Euro, probably. A Courser of Crufix? Oh, that's bad for us. Okay. Did not see that one in our previous matches, so I guess we were not ready for the matchup. Alright. We're just saying go, I guess. We can opt. Are we charter coursing? Are we disputing? Are we Oh boy. I guess Corsair shows them the top cards. They know if they want to cast results or not. It's pretty annoying. Let's opt. Because by opt, I can't hard cast Mystical Dispute. What would I need to Mystical Dispute this turn, though, right? Let's just cast opt and just start from there. See what we draw. Breeding Pool. All right. Establish you don't want any more of those. Basic Island. Okay, we get it. We get it. All right. I'll just cast Charter Course. Make a token. That's pretty good. All right. I mean, they have a turn to go nuts on us. The Corsair really, really stymies our growth here. Thought Knot Seer. That's pretty good. We have answers, but... So, if we were boarding for a game 4, I would bring the Mizzium Mortars back in. Definitely did not expect this. So, the real question is this deck the same deck list we played against earlier? Or just a different deck playing Unexpected Results and Skyline Cascade? Alright. Let's opt. Bottom. Okay. Well, if we're going to get into a longer game, that's definitely the card we want. So, we're going to leave up Stroke and Dispute and Bonecrusher, I guess. So we'll play this Island untapped, and we're just going to ship. Get to play Reef next turn with Stroke up, and they have a Thought Knot Seer on top of their deck. I really don't want to stroke that one, but we just gotta hope this turn isn't bad for us, I think. I mean, I guess I do it. They play a spell here. We dispute it, untap, Reef, stroke their Thought Knot Seer, and draw enough cards we can kind of do good stuff. Just saying, go here. Okay. That's pretty good too. Alright. This is weird, but play Risen Reef? Might get Mystical Disputed here or something? That'd suck. Growth Spiral in response. Sure. So they have a Thought Knot Seer, and they play a Shrine from their hands. They have a lot of mana. And a Sanctum. Risen Reef trigger. Opt. Great. Alright. So they have Sanctum. I forgot one of the cards. Another land, okay. Yeah, Thought Knot Sanctum. Oh god, here we go. Oh, never mind. They're probably casting Thought Knots here. Alright, we get to scatter this and just hope they don't have another card, I guess. This is a big turn for us. If we get to untap here, I'm feeling really, really good. But if they resolve something bad for us, then things could get really messy really, really fast. So, everyone hold on to your butts. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Golos. Okay. That could be worse. Okay. Okay. Now we're cooking. We're about to go full online here. We are going to do everything. We're going to shock red, blue, Pyromancer. Opt, dive down, leave up Stroke. So play Pyromancer. Attack with everything. It's not Risen Reef. Double block there. And there. We will dive down our Pyromancer. Keeps it alive and makes some triggers. Risen Reef in play. Chandra in hand. Cool. And then that resolves. And then takes some damage. We go to 22. And now we have Opt and Stroke up. Their top card is Mystical Dispute. Okay. They have Golos in hand. They have Sanctum of Ugin in hand. And I don't know if I know her last card, but... Alright, so Disdainful Stroke the Golos. 2 triggers. Essence Scatter. Cool. Steam Vents. Cool. Out ramping the ramp deck. Let's go. There's Sanctum. Pretty sure their last card's also a land, and this game should be over now. Yep. And yep. And yeah, we can keep that. I think double mana league is actually fine. Maybe not. I don't even know. Land, sure. So just go Chandra. Double trigger. Quad trigger. Hulk. Castle Embereth. Nice. Wild Slash. Nice. And then we're just going to party. We've got... I guess the disputes aren't good, but whatever. Attack with everything. It's not an important creature. Castle kills him next turn, so we also know they're drawing Dispute, so I don't think there's any outs here. I think they're just really, really dead. We have 2 burn spells and a castle. So top card, Ugin the Spirit Dragon. So close. Yep, that's game. So end step, stomp you. Living Twister, love it. Dive down, love it. And that's the game. Whew, boy. Okay. So definitely a really weird league. And like I was saying earlier, Magic's cool because weird things happen, but it does make it hard to draw accurate conclusions sometimes. Where clearly in a game like that, our deck was humming. We were doing some really, really powerful stuff. But the games we lost didn't feel great. I'm not really sure what I would change that much, though, because it feels like, like I said, you lose to the Lana Rolf Goblin Realm Master deck. You think to yourself, well, add more shocks. And we're playing 6 of them. How many more can we play? It's pretty happy with most of the cards. Dive Down was good. Obviously, getting Reef and Pyromancer going is awesome. Chandra was good. Bonecrusher is fine. I like Cruise in low numbers. 1 or 2 is good. I think any more than that's a little crazy. Our sideboard felt pretty good. We boarded in almost every card. I guess not all of them, but we didn't bring in we brought in most of them, honestly. Considering the compacted metagame we played against, we still brought in a good amount of them. And deck's super sweet. I mean, if you like decks like this, if you like, Is It Phoenix, kind of like tempo-y, pyromancer-y decks that have a little extra flair, a little extra power, this is that. This deck is super sweet. So definitely give it a spin. I wouldn't be discouraged by the results of this league. Again, don't know if it's like a deck that's going to like win an Open or a Pro Tour or something, but it's definitely very powerful. It's doing pretty cool things. And if the metagame is, not super removal heavy or things like that, or it is vulnerable to lots of removal, like Wild Slash, things like that, this deck is pretty sweet. So deck's really fun. Give it a spin. It's also pretty cheap, I think. No real mythics in this deck at all. I don't think there's no mythics. So it's good to have a dual lands anyway, and everything else is commons and uncommons and a few rares. So definitely check it out. Definitely hope you enjoyed it. Of course, I am Dean Davis for CoolStuffInc.com. Don't forget, there's a written article. That's right, a companion article to this video right there on CoolStuffInc.com proper. Make sure you go to that if you're watching on YouTube right now. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you sub the channel. Great videos from myself, Ali and Trazi, and other great stuff here on CoolStuffInc.com. And hop on over to CoolStuffInc.com and use that promo code JIM5. Why? 5% off your order. So go buy your Risen Reefs, 5% off. And you get a free copy of my Goblin token. Can't see it that well, but free copy of my Goblin token whenever you use promo code GYM5 on your order, so 5% off, and the free Goblin token just for ordering. So thanks so much, IMG Davis, for CoolStuffInc.com. Always free content every day, CoolStuffInc.com. I do a video Monday, do an article Friday. I'll see you on Friday, my friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll stay safe out there. It's a little crazy out there right now. Stay safe, all right? Love you all. Have a good one.